All right, thanks, Ed. President Trump taking his re-election campaign to Congressman Ilhan Omar's district with a rally in Minneapolis in a little over a week. His planned visit met with controversy in the historically blue state as the city's mayor, Jacob Frey, says, quote, while there is no legal mechanism to prevent the president from visiting, his message of hatred will never be welcome in Minneapolis. This, as the city's police lieutenant is outraged over what he says is a sudden change in policy by the mayor, prohibiting officers from wearing uniforms when with a political candidate. Joining me now with more is President of the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis and Minneapolis Police Department Lieutenant Bob Kroll. Bob, thank you very much for being here this morning. So what you're saying is the President of the United States is coming to Minneapolis to give a speech. Things have changed there for the mayor and the police department. Share it with our viewers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Within hours of the president making an announcement that he's going to have a rally in Minneapolis, the mayor came out with the statement, in portion of what you just read, basically saying, he's not welcome here, which is ridiculous because there's a lot in Minnesota beyond the city of Minneapolis to begin with. But for decades, the Police Federation has been allowed to appear in political ads, align themselves with political parties for our endorsement. And, for many decades, when you look back, because of the labor, the labor presence, unions have supported the DFL. And in the past, it's never been a problem. And Minneapolis has been a Democrat city for decades. Now, it's never been a problem, but because they've kind of turned their backs on, the police and many other working people, we've shifted gears, and we've been endorsing Republicans for the last several years. So now they've said no longer can you wear your uniform to support your political candidates. In the past, I had to give notice to the chief that we'd appear and we could wear our uniform and support a party or a candidate, and that's now prohibited within hours of the president announcing he's coming here.
So, Lieutenant, you've always been allowed to do so. Now that the Democrats have turned their backs, as you said, against Democrats and toward Republicans who actually support cops. In this particular case, the rally for the president, what has changed? Can police officers actually go inside the venue in uniform? How does this affect the president's visit?
Well, because of the Antifa and a lot of protesters, obviously they're going to have uniformed officers on there to ensure security because these types of events get violent. That's a concern here, as people are afraid to actually come to the rally with fear of being assaulted. We've had a lot of violent assaults downtown, so there's concerns with that. So there will be uniformed personnel assigned, but they cannot appear on stage. They cannot appear in the backdrop of the president, which would happen under ordinary circumstances.
So you have to hide? So this is the issue. Police officers in Minneapolis, when the president of the United States shows up to do a rally, basically have to stay off camera, have to hide, have to be ashamed of the fact that they wear the uniform.
That's exactly it. And if you look back in the past when Bill Clinton appeared here, he was lined with blue because they directed our officers against their will to be behind them in the backdrop. They made sure they had a diverse-looking crew of uniformed officers behind Bill Clinton when he was here. And this one is exactly the opposite with President Trump coming.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, the reality is law enforcement protects everybody, Republican or Democrat. You have a president of the United States duly elected, but your mayor has decided, I'm happy to use cops as props if it's a Democrat, but if they happen to be in a picture with President Trump, then that's making a political statement. How does that make you feel, and those who serve, who probably appreciate what this president does for the police?
Well, myself and the membership has been, we really embrace what the president's done for law enforcement. Under the Obama administration, there was an anti-police rhetoric like you would not believe. And our president has proven he stands with police and military. It's, self-explanatory. So my members are outraged. A lot of them want to be there. They want to be in the backdrop, have an opportunity to meet him. He's shown that he's a very pro-law enforcement president.
When they actually want to stand with the president, they're not allowed to. Otherwise, they're forced to as props. Lieutenant Bob Kroll, thank you very much for your service to Minneapolis. By the way, we reached out to the mayor, Mayor Jacob Frey, for a statement regarding the new uniform policy of the Minneapolis Police Department, and we have yet to hear back.